When I was growing up, I always loved reading books, but there was never people like me. In fact, they were always portrayed in a comical way, or they were evil. It really took me as a child that, oh, I can't be the hero because I'm fat. I haven't had luck with boyfriends before, and finally there's this guy who fancies me as much as I fancy him. As a child, I realized like how fatphobic media is. Eddie Murphy, he made a series of films with this family where he wore fat suits. And I remember running out of the living room, crying my eyes out because they made fun of fat people. The entire family was fat and they were just laughed at by everyone. And I was the only one in that room in my family that was fat. I remember little 6-year-old me sitting in a chair crying my eyes out because fat people are just funny. They're just there to be laughed at. I've always been fat since I was 2 years old. Really, my mom took me to the doctors because I was gaining a lot of weight. And of course, that comes with a lot of bullying and a lot of picking on. I was an active kid. I loved swimming, I loved playing around outside, but I was always bulkier, I was always fatter than everyone else. And it affected me really badly. I developed an eating disorder, binge eating. I started self-harming and I just had a really horrible self-image. I hated looking in the mirror, I hated picking out clothes because nothing would fit me. I remember not being very old, I wished that I could find the zipper to take off the fat suit I thought I was wearing. A weird delusion of how my body was, but I wanted to be thin so badly. And it wasn't until I was early adulthood that I started accepting that this is how my body is. I saw this beautiful little pendant of a fat woman that I learned was called Venus of Willendorf, a fertility goddess. And I don't know what clicked. That kind of led to finding body positive Instagrams with fat people. So seeing these people allowing themselves this self-love just sparked something wonderful. Like, yeah, I can work on loving myself too. Now I have days where I don't want to look at myself. But it's more acknowledging. It's not, I have a bad body. It's just, it's a bad day today. Are you paying? Then yes. Sean and I, we met 11 years ago on a game on the PlayStation. The thing about online relationships, you get to know a person in a different way. Of course, we had seen pictures of each other, but it was like he didn't care anyway. You could see how fat I was in the pictures, but he kept talking to me. So we became best friends really fast. And it actually took a while before we realized we were in love with each other. Then we started long distance relationships. He came the year after we confessed our love. And he loved me and my body for how my body is. Yeah, we got married 2 years ago. Was it me that put the ring on the wrong finger?
I gave you the wrong hand, yes.
Yeah, you gave me the wrong hand.
And you just went with it, yeah.
Yeah. Whoops.
Oh,
That's the disposable camera one.
oh, that's why they're so blurry. And
Yeah,
that
it's
was focused on my mum and not me.
You're cute though.
Well, on your wedding day, I think you look perfect, as you ever do.
Thank you.
I wouldn't say I'm generally attracted to larger women. I'm attracted to people that I love, really.
Yeah.
So it just happened.
Yeah, it's never been a fat fetish thing.
No.
Because if it's a thing, there's a fetish for it. But you haven't obsessively oh, I love your fat stomach and stuff like that.
I mean, maybe in my head before we met, it wouldn't have been someone as large, but it just happened to be, and it's not. I find her any less attractive necessarily. The combination of everything that makes her Amelia that I love. I don't think there's one thing I could single out.
Not my feet.
Not your feet.
Ears.
You have really nice ears.
Thank you. Thank you. The thing with like weight differences in relationships is there'll always be people who like comment like, why would you be with them? Why would you be with that kind of partner? Because there's this image that a fat person has to be with a fat person and a thin person has to be with a thin person. Why are there these expectations for who someone should be with?
My dad, we've kind of cut contact a bit more with. He was more judgmental towards larger people, but he, at the same time, he wasn't discouraging me from being with Amelia. It was just that's just his way of thinking.
You can go to any shop and buy clothes is straight size, and then you have like various different fat people. There's small fat, then there's the mid fat, and then there's super fats, which I see myself as because I need to go to specialty shops. 16, 18, no, 30. We're starting to own the word fat, just like people are starting to own the word queer. It's not a slur anymore, and it's not associated with something bad. We need fat to be just a neutral body description. I never tried so much clothes on in my life. It's a fat body. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just how the body is.
That's quite nice as well. So in terms of Amelia's health, had doctors say that you're in surprisingly good health for your size. So I think, I mean, in the future, there'd be issues that could arise, but for now, I think it's mostly fine. Yeah, no, this looks quite nice, yeah.
I think that maybe one day I would like to lose a tiny bit of weight, but right now I don't care. And I don't want to fall into the pressure of having to lose weight to be accepted by everyone else. This is how my body is. Right now, I'm just happy to be in my skin.